Hey, welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, anything of any importance and relevance to the channel, you'll find in the description box. You might say, what the hell is in the description box? Well, you can find all important links. So if you're interested in any type of shadow healing, if you want to go to my website where I do podcasts, I podcast link. I have a lot of free blogs on healing the effects of trauma. You'll find my other YouTube channels, and you will find my merchandise. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to really do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video. And the word of the video is vanity, because it literally just flipped over, so we're going to take it. There's never any mistakes, not in the spiritual realm anyway. Everything is in divine order, even when we're like, it doesn't look like it's in fucking divine order, okay? It doesn't look like that. Spiritual blocks are where our shadows are. And it's those shadows that make us form behaviorisms and habits and belief patterns that block us from manifesting our wealth and our health and our all around emotional fulfillment. Now, I feel as if vanity is the word that comes out, and it is also going to be the underlining energy of your reading, because whatever card is a card of the day is how I like to open up my readings. So I'm feeling as if you do care a lot about what things look like, and I feel as if, people tend to perceive that you're doing a lot better than you actually are. And so you put extra demands on yourself. And the problem with that is that that's very overstimulating, because we all have our own unique process. It's what makes our identity unique. It's an unfoldment process that happens as you go. This way, no one can copy it. No one can take what's yours. That says that in the Bible. It says no one can take what's yours, because you don't even know what's yours. You get too much in your own way, then you're going to, control your way out of manifesting the life experiences that you want. Now, I'm feeling Pisces. So this is, again, this message is actually going to be, like I said, for Pisces, but it's, if anyone lands on it and they resonate, that it's their reading too. But I feel as if, you want things to look a certain way, and you want to appear a certain way. And that could be getting in the way of what could actually be manifested. Now, if we grow up in an environment where we were told that there was something wrong with us, that we're not good enough, or that we appear to be lacking in something, we are going to create a mask, a persona, and that persona is going to want to look perfect. But there is no perfect, and perfect isn't real. People that try to be perfect, they can't get close on an emotional level, because they're afraid that you're going to see things that are imperfect and that would ruin their persona. So they care a lot about who they surround themselves with. They care a lot about appearances. So I'm feeling like, again, that you also feel as if that you are like, try to be a real person, and that you deal with a lot of people that actually have this energy. So here it is that you don't feel adequate within your own right, within what you're trying to create within your own life. People have false judgments that triggers an emotional reaction of overstimulation. And so then obviously you can't be in the creative mind if you're in the survival mind, and being overstimulation is actually when you go into the survival mind, no longer present. And it's because you're too busy trying to escape from whatever it is that you don't feel good about. Your psychological and your emotional wounds will play out as karmic themes. And so again, how is this karmic theme playing out within your situation. Well, I feel like that's your element, but I also feel like you're connected to someone that really cares about how they appear. And it's because they also grew up in a place of lack, and a lack of feeling like there was one parent, or if it was if their parents were together, it was a really tumultuous relationship where it was codependent. One person was never around, cheated all the time, and one person was kind of like left to pick up the pieces. So when we inherit this trauma from a family, then what happens is we feel inadequate because we're so busy looking at like our parents and what's going on in our environment and trying to survive, that we're not being like childlike. In the Bible it says be like childlike, because in that process, that's actually our unfoldment process. And so you don't find that unfoldment process if you're in the survival mind. And that is what happened. This is like goes to like, you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. So you'd be like, I'm not really vanity. And Spirit says, when you don't allow your unfoldment process and you're looking in everyone's backyard, you care too much. You're being vain. You're not you're not allowing the process. And did you do that? No, it was the environment that you grew up in. Whether it was a circumstance that didn't allow you to, so you never found your process. So again, when we find our process, we're really grounded. We're really grounded, because that's when your intuition works best. Because only in the now do you get divine guidance through God, intuition, inner knowing. See, you're not in charge of how you manifest, meaning how you get there. You are in charge of how you manifest. You're not in charge of how you get there, the path. So you're going to be like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, and then have judgment. And because that's the way that you were raised. Foundation. So again, so caring a lot. So it means that you had a lot of ideas and you did a lot of other things and you make it look good, but is it your craft 100% strong and secure? No. Because again, that you were following whatever other people, being taught by people, taking what they told you and applying it. But that's not your style. Your style comes from doing. Mastery comes in doing. That's how spirit works through you. That's how the universe works through you. That's how God shows that it supports you and loves you, because it's going to bring in people, situations, and experiences that change your mind and your heart. So both parties are out of alignment. That's not good, because again, the spiritual energy here is what we're looking at. This is the energy. This is the energy that is driving your reading. Meaning, like, this is what everyone's behaviorisms are built on. The core belief. That's why it's not good. It's not of the true self. The higher self is the real self, and that's the God part of self. It's of unconditional love. It's what me and you are tapped into right now. It doesn't logically make sense that you'd be skipping around to YouTube and hear this message and resonate with it. And it's like, wow, I needed to hear that. And Spirit says, I know, I got you. You know, that's the way. So let's take a look. And I always like to start with the hidden truths, but it gotta not always be the same. And understand that's a trauma response, always liking to do things the same way. Your Spirit's like, no, you have to do things differently. I'm like, but I always like to do the hidden truth. And Spirit's like, yeah, pick up the other card. So yeah, I'm picking up the other cards. And it's a healing journey for everyone. Know that. Everybody has a process. Everyone has a process. I care about you even when I don't act like I do. I'm hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. Again, yeah, well, the person that you're connected to, like I said, is caring more about what things look like. And I'm feeling like if they were to be with you, they have to change their entire life. Because I feel like either they were in a very long-term commitment with someone and they might not even be with that person, but that person still expects them to do there and be there for them. And in return, they will give them. So it's love with conditions. That's what happens when we live in this energy. We have to live by other people's conditions because we haven't found our true self. The true self comes from the higher self, and that's the God part of self. It's the one that you have found when you're feeling unconditional love and when you're in passion and you're just doing what you do and you're losing yourself in what you do. When you look at the clock and you say, oh shit, 5 hours later, how do we get here? Well, that's how. It's like you are again co-creating with the universe, which is God, because God's ubiquitous. And it's an energy, and that energy is unconditional love. That's the energy of you too, but not when your spiritual blocks are there. Oh no. And so you wouldn't know when the blocks were. Unfortunately, we wouldn't. Even though we can live like this and be like, what? This is how you live life. You're just supposed to live life this way, making yourself through outside things. That's the way for success. You would think that, but that's not the right answer. No, 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 no. What'll happen is you won't be coming from your true self, which is the higher self, the God part of self. No, you'll be coming from a persona of who you want people to believe that you are. And that's actually coming from a place of fear because you don't believe that you could actually be that or have that. And that actually takes you further away from you. And you will never find your unique process that way. Because you can't be like childlike if you're too busy trying to strategize and figure things out. So there's not in the left logical brain. No, no, no. We are in the right brain, the creative mind, the psychic mind, the intuitive mind. That is claircognizance. That is the Holy Spirit, how the Holy Spirit works through you, works through me. We are one. Don't let fear get in the way of the truth. Well, the problem is that both parties are saying that. Both parties know that it's the truth. But again, vanity is a sign that you're in fear. So what this person is saying is like, there's a lot of fear. I have a lot of fear. And what this is like, and because I have a lot of fear, I can't really show you my true emotions. I'm going to pull one more. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't. And see how the spirit speaks to you? I'm going to do one more anyway. And it's like, fine, either I'm not going to tell you anything or it's not going to make sense. Watch. Being mirrors for each other makes self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you, but if I'm not, I want you to love and nurture yourself. So it's again, like I said, both of you are holding on to this energy of vanity. So you're in separation right now. And I guess you're in separation right now to work on yourself, to heal yourself, to let's take a look and see, and let's see what the hell they're going to do. See what happened that made you not be in separate and not be together. And I think it's because of the facade, to be honest with you. But it'll say, because there's always usually a lot of behaviorisms too, that a person needs to do to cover why. It's a form of how they gaslight. I want you to believe that I don't like you, because I'm going to be mean to you and I'm going to do things to you. But that's the behaviorism. It's a trigger that just love sometimes to people, especially if they can't be really who they truly want to be, that they don't feel comfortable to do that. As a plan. Yeah, like you felt like this person like was never, like always wanted to like a way out, never was committed, never would let you get close. And that's what it is. It's like you felt like they were trying to get close, but almost like they were trying to hide something. And you couldn't tell whether, are you a player? Are there other people? Are there other, like, are you into drugs? Are you into like, why do you let me get close, but then not, you're not giving me all of you. You're like trying to compartmentalize me. And that happens from trauma, that when a person goes through trauma that's bad, they detach and they disassociate. So they try to compartmentalize, and this is what your person tried to do. But in that, they, they will have to always watch you. And like I said, if you were going to get too close to them, and so being too close would be like, hey, I think that we should take a vacation together. I think that we should do this together. If it was somebody that hadn't had an intimate relationship for a long time, and that doesn't mean that they weren't in a relationship, that they could have been in a sexual relationship, not an intimate relationship. And that intimate relationship that I'm talking about is the emotional one. So it's like, hey, like, let's go to the movies. Let's do that's like, it's like, oh, it's like it triggered this person because of, again, their insecurities. When people rely on people to take care of them, or again, are connected to people through association, and really association because of what they perceive it's going to look like. It's, again, that's vanity. That's not coming from a true sense of self. So like I said, of course they wouldn't let you get close. And I feel like that was a trigger for you because you're someone, Pisces, that needs emotion. You need that connection. So it triggered you all the time. I'm going to pull one more. Alone, which is the same thing. That's like spirit saying, I told you only one, but you're going to pull two. So it's the same answer, which is you feel left alone. That spirit's like, no, like you're with this person, but you can feel that they're not really with you. So again, and that we look at your inner child wounds, because it's like, well, why would you attract a person like that? Yeah, we want to know whether they're going to come back, obviously, but we want to also know how we can shape shift the situation, because we don't want them to come back and be the same thing, same way. To understand they have feelings for you. You have feelings for them. That's unconditional love. That transcends time and space. However, the behaviorisms and habits are not of God. They are not of unconditional love. They were formed from growing up in an environment. So the way that it becomes karmic is that this person's coming into your life to learn, and you to learn from them. So it means that you need to do something different. It means that you need to, again, know, well, this person still is going to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of. That's their nature because they've never been any other way. They like the connection, but it scares them because then they have to be vulnerable, and they've been around people that have betrayed them. And betrayal trauma is the worst type of trauma that there is. So, but we do this part so that you can learn to not take things personally, learn to detach from it, because understand this is going to activate your traumas. It's going to trigger you. It's going to make you upset and mad, and it's supposed to, so that you look at it and do some self-observation so you can actually integrate it. Because again, once that energy is transmuted, it opens up psychic awareness. We're able to take new approaches, and those new approaches allows us to see ourselves differently, which inevitably changes our situations. And that's what it means karmic. Did you learn? We associate karma with like, oh, bad. But it's only bad because most people don't learn, and the consequences of not learning are bad. Especially when it comes to being misunderstood. So I feel like this is what you and your person both have in common. So again, the common denominator there again is we feel like we need to be this way because no one understands us. And that just means I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. Where that's definitely for your person. They were like, I fit in over here, but it's like you didn't even fit in there. After a while, these people that were considered friends, they weren't really friends. They were just taking from you because they were benefiting from you. And then once they realized that they didn't need you anymore, that you became disposed of. And if you were in a connection, that person was only there as long as the money was there. So that is betrayal karma, because you're thinking you're living a life, and that's not the life that you're really living. So that's why it's betrayal. So this person doesn't trust who they are. And I like, well, people just don't get me. Like, it's like, because people gaslight and turn it around. When you give too much of yourself, because you haven't formed enough of yourself. Like I said, the foundation was weak because it was never, you never created. And we're talking about from a spiritual perspective. And you misunderstood the same thing. If you didn't feel that you fit in and you weren't allowed your process, you're like, well, I try and figure it out and then I get yelled at. And that could be a trauma from childhood, like from school or from a parent saying, you didn't do it fast enough. That's not right. Or why are you doing it? Like being impatient because they were just impatient. And you taking on that energy and then not really trying because out of fear. So we can see again why the energies match. I'm going to put one more. Again, neglect. Neglect. And neglect is again, like, I'm not going to even show you how. I'm too busy with my own trauma, which is what happened with your person and their family, how they grew up. And with you, it's like, again, that you possibly learned different, or again, your parent just couldn't be there. They might have been a single parent. There's many different scenarios. This is a collective reading. Take it as it resonates. Whatever that is, that you did not get the support. So again, that's a root chakra imbalance. And so you know that everything that lays on that root chakra, like every other spiritual center, and there are 6 other ones, really 7 other ones, they're all going to be in balance, because that first chakra is support. And if you neglected, you weren't supported, you had to figure out things on your own, and children can't. So again, so these wounds come from inner child wounds. This is a soul connection. This is a past life connection. Now, if your person chooses to step into healing and they do their shadow work, they have the potential to actually become a twin flame by the time they come back into your life. It's again, because twin flames come into each other's life during divine timing. And there's elements of both parties stepping into their best self, their true self. A lot of times when that person comes into, or they can just be a karmic, which is, I'm not going to heal. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to fix it. Again, karma means, again, learn. And a person can learn if they're like, well, I really do love you. And I know what I need to do. And that's, again, lay down those walls, take down those walls, really let you see everything. And even though I'm not proud of that, there's parts of me that I'm embarrassed about. I'm not gonna run anymore. And from you, again, maybe saying, I'm gonna put more effort into myself, I'm gonna be more gentle with myself while creating myself. And your relationship allows you to hold that balance. Sometimes that's why spirit brings people into our lives. But sometimes, again, like I said, it's a karmic test. We're going to find out. I'm working up the courage to contact you. So they are surrendering, again, their ego, and those walls are starting to come down. And so that's why I was saying, why I am explaining so much is because this is a spiritual reading. And spiritual readings don't predict. What they do is they teach you how to shape shift your situation, because you have the divine inside of you. You have a God inside of you. That God part of you is of unconditional love. It's just an energy. And when we depict the character of this energy, which is everything that's derived from unconditional love, which is compassion, and love and all the things, again, that are derived from unconditional love, then you are vibrating at the right vibration and they're able to transmute your wounds. So otherwise, this type of relationship could trigger you and be like, yeah, there were so many twin flame, but it's just one of those things. It's a karmic relationship. It's just never going to work out. And it's like, understand if it doesn't work out with this person, you will get elements of the behaviorisms that trigger your wounds in another person. The universe will always conspire to bring you exactly what you need. And if you're crazy passionate in love with somebody enough that they're gonna like surrender their ego and show you everything, well, then it's about the wounds that you have that you need to look at. So again, water underneath the bridge. So again, your person just thinks again, time, like the time apart was more important, but they had a lot of realizations and they see what is important. And I think for a lot of time, their ego, being right, was very important to them. Again, anything that would make them appear to be strong. And so part of that was not just being connected to the wrong types of people, but it was also attached to not being vulnerable, not being soft, not being compassionate, not having empathy, not trying not to be sensitive to other people's feelings and feeling that that was the right way to be. And you only get taught that if you're, again, you only do that if you're taught that. I am filled with regret. And so this is why, like this person feels like there's enough time that's come by and that they're filled with regret, which is making them work the courage up to do to work things out with you. However, like I said, this still is a karmic relationship. So we need to see what is it that you need to do in order to navigate this connection. Because some of you guys are going to be like, I don't even want to deal with this connection. And I realize that. However, a lot of times when it's a soulmate twin flame, we can't help it. We're just like that. We have such unconditional love for this person. I mean, that's the whole thing. This person literally is wounded the way that they grew up. And look, they're surrendering their ego and they're coming to try and fix the connection. This person doesn't, I don't think that they ventured into putting energy into anyone except for like the same people that screwed them over. And that's terrifying to put your energy into somebody else that you don't know that could possibly do the same exact thing. So that's why I'm saying that this person is displaying that. But we need to say again, what is it that needs to be healed within inside of you? Disgust, loathing, like you can't get to a place of where you like hate this person and that's exactly what would happen. You would, like, if this is going to be too much of a challenge for you, and a lot of twin flame soulmate relationships are, they are, because you look at that twin flame soulmate like they're perfect. And then when they're not in your life, and a lot happens in the ether, like a lot happens like in that astral realm where you're connected to that person, you feel that person, you know that they've been in your life before, so you think that they're that person, but that's not who they are. That's a persona of who they are. So if you're being with this person, you're going to be like disgusted because they're not that person. So you need to look at that first and foremost. If you want this relationship to be successful. And they need to, again, also for you too, because I think that they put you on a bit of a pedestal. Not right away, but I think because, they see you differently, grief, loss, and it's about, are you going to be able to heal? Are you going to be able to heal? Because understand when somebody crosses the line, when somebody doesn't give and holds back and doesn't make you feel safe, it's very hard to like go back into a relationship like that and be vulnerable. Like I said, it's just as hard for you as it is for this person to come into your life and have you trust, and vice versa, because they just got betrayed. So, but what's more important is being right important? Like, because that's coming from your ego, and then that's like you're caring more about like what it looks like. Or are you going to like make sure that it's not grief because it's like you lost out? Like a lot of times people get so angry because they feel that people need to act a certain way and be a certain way and do certain things and know certain things, and they don't. Especially if you have a person here that doesn't feel comfortable to communicate because they had a persona, because they don't even really know who they are. So understand, like, it's a tough call, but it's what you focus on, and that there is this unconditional love in the response. So if you can focus on that and put it into perception where you say, well, this person's coming back and they really are trying. They want forgiveness. They're in regret. They want to make things right. All I can do is let them prove themselves, because I would regret the loss. I would feel grief over the loss. So I'm going to do this. And I feel like you need to do this. And this person needs to do this. And I feel that because many times when there's a root chakra imbalance, where there's betrayal that happens in family, the biggest spiritual lesson is forgiveness, is letting go, is it's transformative. It's like it's that snake energy when the snake sheds its skin, like it's time to shed your skin. And that means to integrate spiritual lessons that you weren't taught in childhood. That either one of you were taught in childhood. And it's about being compassionate with each other, allowing forgiveness. It's okay that people make mistakes as long as that they come in and they forgive. But it's not about you losing yourself in this person. It's about finding balance in the situation. People that have root chakra imbalances and second chakra imbalances, especially, they're all or nothing type people. And a lot of times in relationships, we have to find the gray. We just have to find the gray. So we're to close out by asking, well, what energy should we bring into our situation that might be able to balance it out, that would make our situation easier? What does Spirit want us to focus on? Action. My divine actions indicates love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart, my desires to manifest light, transform tests into growth, challenges into opportunities, and fear into love. So I believe that this person comes into your life as, again, a twin flame, because they're coming in, again, surrendering their ego and wanting to be vulnerable, wanting to transmute those wounds of trust. Now, I believe, again, you need help, as we said, with your process. And so when you, again, are going out and finding yourself and you have support that you didn't have support growing up, this person will give you support because that's what they're good at. Those people that were attached to them weren't attached to them because they liked that your person. They were done with that your person. It's that fact that, and that was all of them. That was friends, that was family, that was, again, if they were connected to someone, which some of you people are connected to someone that was connected to someone else. It's like all them. It's like everyone was connected to this person because they could make money and made them money. It's like, and but in them leaving, your person leaving, it disassembles the business per se, because everyone has stock in the business. However, it didn't look like everybody had stock in the business. It looked like your person had the business. So that's the thing. Once they walk away, they literally have nothing. So your person needs to take action. You need to take action. You need to take actions to transmute your wounds and learn how to work better with that earth element, because you grew up in an environment where you saw people struggle financially over and over and over and over, and there was so much fear around it that though that trauma is embedded, where it's not that you couldn't, but it's just that it seems like it takes longer. It's like there's a lot of anxiety. So what will transmute that anxiety is the passion, is the unconditional love, this person coming back into your life. And your person needs to do that anyway, because like I said, they're walking away and shedding that skin. And then in the end, what are you both healing? It's like a grief and loss. It's like we didn't have the support, we didn't have the love. So when we look at soulmate twin flame relationships through the fact that they're a healing energy, they give us an opportunity to shapeshift, because that person brings us our healing energy that we need to help support us, whether they're good at what we're not good at, or whether they're just patient and hold space for us, that the universe will always conspire to bring us what need. In this story, I just feel like the wounds were so deep from childhood on both sides, and that you're both coming into a place now, to a place of union, and that's really to transmute that grief and loss. And then, once you do, that's where the unconditional love comes in play. And that's when the divine can really work through us. That's when the universe really can conspire to bring us everything that we need. I'm going to leave that there. I'll talk to you all soon, Pisces. And if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, don't forget to write that word in the comment bar. I forgot what it is. You'll have to, again, look in the comment bar, because by the time the video's up, I'll have written it there. Or just fast forward the video. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.